Let's begin. Today is October 9th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's all-even lineup of criteria cards include criteria cards 2, 6, 10, 16, and 22, and the puzzle uses the blue verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So on the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. So criteria card A looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and compares it to the number 3. So should the value of triangle be less than 3? Should it be equal to 3? Or should triangle be greater than 3? Criteria card B looks at our middle digit, the squared digit, and will let us know whether its value is an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card C will take a look at our 3-digit solution, and the Turing machine will let us know how many of those digits are 4. Are there no 4s? Is there a single 4? Perhaps 2? Maybe even all 3 are 4. Criteria card D again takes a look at our 3-digit solution, but this time it'll let us know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. Are there more even than odds, or are there less even than odds? And finally, criteria card E again takes a look at our 3-digit solution from triangle to square to circle, and will let us know a little bit about the order of the digits. So should the digits come in an ascending order, meaning that they're increasing? Should they be in a descending order, or basically decreasing? Or should they have no order? Let's take a look at the example for no order. We see that it's 2, 3, 1. So if you see it goes from 2 to 3, so it increases, and then it goes from 3 to 1 and decreases. That shift is one way to describe a 3-digit code to have no order. We've also seen other puzzles in the past where if you have consecutive equal digits, for example, say 2, 2, 5, the fact that it goes from 2 to 2, well, actually, it doesn't go anywhere. That's why it has no order. There's no increase or decrease between those 2 consecutive equal digits. And the objective of today's puzzle is that we are looking for that one unique code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards that we just described. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I like to do is I like to test criteria card B. Okay, so the Turing machine does not approve of my choice for that middle square digit. I chose an odd 1, but the fact that the Turing machine does not approve of it lets us know that, in fact, square should actually be an even digit. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section B. And that is, again, that square is an even digit. Okay, and since it is even, well, we can cross out all 3 odds. So let's cross out 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so the next thing I think I'd like to test is criteria card D. Okay, so the Turing machine does approve of my proposal. We are looking at the ratio of even to odds. So in 314, I do have 2 odds to a single even. So basically, the Turing machine agrees that there should be less even than odds. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes for section D. And that is that there should be less even than odds. And since we've already established that square actually is even and we need a majority of odds, that means that triangle and circle must be odd. So let's go ahead and cross out the evens in both triangle and circle. So basically we're looking at a odd, even, odd solution. Let's see what else. Well, at this point, criteria card C is a 50-50. Either there's a 4 or there's not, since there's only one even. And of course, it could be the 4. And if it's not, then it must be the 2. So we know that part. What else? Is there anything we can... Typically, we've been able to sometimes deduce criteria card E. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've done a puzzle with it. Let's see. What can we say anything? Yeah, I don't know. We are dealing with odd, even, odd. But it is interesting. Notice that among the 5 criteria cards, there truly is no mention of circle. Obviously, criteria card A and B do directly refer to triangle and square. So somehow that circle digit is going to be forced into, one of those odds. And the only thing that seems to do the job is criteria card E. So somehow it's going to force it to be that. If that's the case, yeah, because there's no mentioning of whether you could have a pair of odds. What looks kind of interesting, well, partly criteria card C will maybe help us as well if we can establish whether it's a 2 or a 4 going into round 2. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and test criteria card C. Okay, so it does agree that there should be one 4-digit. Notice that in my proposal I do have a 4, and the Turing Machine responds that yes, it agrees. 1 4 is accurate. So we know that square is 4, but let's go ahead and just type up in our notes that the solution has a single 4-digit. Okay, and of course that means that, yeah, square is 4. So let's go ahead and cross off the 2. And that concludes this round. We've already completed our 3 Turing tests. Now we're going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice we did not test criteria card A, comparing triangle to the number 3, nor did we test the ordering of our 3-digit solution. So let's take a look. The fact that we have a 4, what can we say about triangle? Remember, circle will be forced into something very likely because of criteria card E. So what can we say about, and again, there's no mentioning that you can't have duplicates. So I'm thinking that it's either going to be an ascending solution, like maybe 1 4 5 or 3 4 5, or it could be even descending 5 4 3. And let's see, because again, if it has no order, it's going to pivot from the 4 in the opposite direction. So, I mean, you could have 1 4 1, 1 4 3. All those those are ambiguous. There's no way to really distinguish between them. So I don't think it's going to be a no order. And we only have a single descending, but typically the way these puzzles work and the cards work is that you eliminate possibilities. So that's why I'm thinking it's either going to be like 1, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5 and be sort of an ascending. Now the question is, even if I pick that, what would be the best way to test? Is there a way that we could deduce one or the other? It could come down to maybe selecting criteria card A, and we may be able to deduce the ordering. Although, between descending and ascending, I don't know if there's a good way to sort of hedge our bets. I think I'm going to go with 1, 4, 5. One, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go with 1, 4, 5 and see what happens. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, so it is true. I did pick a 1 for triangle, and 1 is less than 3. So it is true that triangle should be less than 3. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section A. And that again is that triangle should be less than 3. And of course, the only value that's less than 3 is 1 itself. So let's go ahead and cross out the 3 and the 5. So far our solution looks like 1, 4. And yeah, I think we can deduce that it's going to be 1, 4, 5 because again, if it had no order, it would pivot to either 1 or 3. And I just don't see anything in the criteria cards that would help us decide between 1 and 3. There's nothing about pairs or no pairs. So I think I'm going to type up criteria card E as we're going to deduce the solution is ascending. Okay, and so since it is ascending, I'm deducing that the value should be 5. So let me go ahead and cross out the 1 and the 3. So I'm stating that the solution should be 1, 4, 5. All right, just experiencing a little bit of lag. Okay, so 1, 4, 5. So let's kind of review very quickly. Is the first digit less than 3? It is. Is the middle digit even? Sure, it's 4. The solution has a single 4. Yeah, it's the square digit. There are more odds than evens, yes. And here we are deducing that it's in an ascending order, so the digits are increasing. Okay, well, let's go confirm that our solution is 1, 4, 5. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so how do we do versus a Turing machine? Well, I believe we tested less. We only did 4 tests while there were 5 criteria cards, so that should guarantee us a win. So notice in the first round we did B, C, D. with B being the only incorrect response. And in the second round, we tested A, which was correct. So let's go ahead and type that up. So B, C, D. So B was incorrect. Oops. B was incorrect, but C and D were both correct. And in second round, criteria card A was the only one tested, and it was correct. And so, yeah, we did beat the Turing Machine by 2 questions. Yeah, so very fortunate that, again, we were, able to deduce criteria card E, the ordering in this case. Typically, if you played enough of these puzzles, you see that more often than not, the response is that it has no order. But here, we were able to deduce that it was indeed ascending, just based on where we ended in round 1. So we kind of played a little bit of a mental game of what if, and we were able to see that, yeah, those choices for circle, a couple of them led to ambiguous solutions. So yeah, we were able to conclude that indeed the 3-digit code had to be in ascending order. Well, how did you do? What sort of order did you pick for your criteria cards? And did you see any aha moments that you'd like to share? Please add those thoughts to the comments. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find the channel. And of course, hit subscribe so that you'll be notified of the next video and you won't miss it. Well, until next time, have a great one.